Alright, here we have another Takeshi Tuesdays that was recorded years ago. This one was only 2 years ago, as opposed to the 4 or 5 years ago that the other one was recorded. So, you know, closer. But nevertheless, I'm also releasing it not on a Tuesday, just to get it out. So I hope you guys enjoy. Once I do get back to Takeshi Tuesdays, because this is the last one I had banked and saved up, I might try to do them on Tuesdays again and get back into the flow when I eventually do that. No promises on that, because again, this whole thing's been delayed so fucking long. But I just thought I'd get this one out. Let's just dive in. You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another episode of Takeshi Tuesdays. In today's episode, we'll be talking about Takeshi's film debut, Go Go, Second Time Virgin. Go Go, Second Time Virgin was released in 1969. There's not actually a date specifically, it just says 1969 on Wikipedia. But it was directed by Koji Wakamatsu, and it's a 65-minute movie. It's really, really short. It's also got a pretty simplistic plot. The movie begins with a chick getting gang raped, and then it flashes back to a previous time when she was gang raped. And then, after it happens, it has this guy who was watching the whole thing, who also got sexually abused by his neighbors, talking with her and sort of building a bond with her because the two of them were both abused. But also she wants to die, and she keeps begging him to kill her. She also asked one of the gang rapists to kill her, but he wouldn't. I honestly can't remember if Takeshi Tuesdays, if I usually do spoilers. This one I will because it's so short and obscure. I think that's usually the way I go, is doing spoilers if it's, weird and obscure and short. But most of the movie almost entirely takes place on a rooftop, the rooftop where she was raped, and where they spend most of the movie talking. There's also a shower up there on the rooftop for some reason. The guy is also, the son of the building superintendent, so he has, the keys and stuff. And again, when she keeps begging him to kill her, he later shows her that he has killed before because he killed the group of neighbors that gang raped him. And the movie's got a pretty dark premise. It's mainly dealing with rape and the want to end one's own life. And there's not a whole lot else to it other than there is kind of a romance that blooms between the two characters. You get to see how it affects them, and you get to see just kind of how socially, inept they are because of these kind of things, and also because you get the vibe that they've always kind of been social outcasts and have never been the most sociable people, especially the guy. But the movie has them go on the rooftop, talk about it, she wants him to kill her, and eventually the gang that raped her comes back, try to rape her again, and he just kills them all. He kills every single one of them. And then they have this weird sort of playful thing where she's telling him to kill her again, but this time it's kind of jokey. She also tells him multiple times that it's okay if he rapes her because she likes him, and he says he can't do it. Then later on she changes her phrasing and says, "Make love to me," and he also says he can't do that either. And then eventually, after he kills them all, they have their little moment. The two of them both jump off the roof to their deaths. It's a really dark and tragic movie. It's interesting. I enjoyed it. It's certainly not a fun movie most of the time, but it is enjoyable. It is an interesting story, and it's a very unique film. It's a pink film, which Koji Wakamatsu is known for doing. But with this one, the interesting thing is, I had a really hard time trying to find where Takeshi was in this movie, to the point where at moments I was almost thinking that maybe he just wasn't in it and it was a mistake on IMDb and Wikipedia. Wikipedia doesn't credit him under a role, but IMDb has him credited as gangster. This is the guy I think is Takeshi. It's one of the rapists, and he is the first one to die. I think it's him. It's really hard to tell, because he's got the long hair and the sunglasses, but I think, looking at it for an extended period of time, this is the only one that really looks like Takeshi. There was a couple of other contenders, because I thought maybe they could have been counting the neighbors as a gang as well, or maybe the two guys that raped her in the flashback. But I'm pretty sure this one is Takeshi. He's also the only one who sounded like Takeshi when he talked. He has very little lines. He's one of the least prominent characters. Out of the big gang, he's the least prominent one. Or at least one of the least prominent ones. There's another one that might possibly be him, but this is the one I'm pretty sure is Takeshi, so that's what I'm banking on. Because obviously this is Takeshi Tuesdays, so I had to try and fucking find where Takeshi was in the movie. There we go. It's a very unique movie. Apparently it's Takeshi's film debut. Obviously he wasn't center stage, and he would go on to do a few more small roles like this before eventually doing Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, which I've already reviewed. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of Takeshi Tuesdays. This has been Fugitive Red Eye. Have a good one. Toodles.
Subscribe to Fugitive Red Eye.